Hi everyone, Glamma here. So today I am going to be showing you a stitch that I just learned. It's called the thermal single crochet. And so what it is it's a thicker, less stretchy single crochet. And I'll show you why I'm so excited that I just recently learned how to do this. I'm going to grab my tablet and show you my Glamma's His and Hers messenger bag. Had I known this stitch back when I made this, I would have definitely used the thermal single crochet on this, especially the handle and the bottom of the bag. Let me show you the actual bag. And so this is where I would have used it, because look at how stretchy this bag is. So if you were to put something heavy in this bag like books and stuff, it would have really stretched out this right here. But I think I'm going to remake it with this new thermal stitch. And also on the bottom part of the bag, I think it would have been really nice to have this new stitch that I'm going to show you. Actually, to be honest with you, I would probably redo it with the whole bag in this stitch. Might take a little longer because the thermal single crochet is a little bit shorter, and I'll show you that in a second. So yeah, I definitely wish that I would have known about this stitch back when I did this. Let me see, how many years ago was it? 9 years ago. Wow. I think I started this channel about 10 years ago. All right, so let me go ahead and show you the stitch that we are going to be making today. Okay, so here it is. As you can see, this is the thermal single crochets right here. You see how you can't see through it? And this is the regular single crochets. And see how much stretchier this is? Well, look at this. This does not hardly stretch at all. So I did even amount of rows. I did 8 rows here and 8 rows here. So as you can see, your work is going to take a little longer. Your project might take a little longer because this is a sturdier stitch, and yeah, but I think it's well worth it if you're making handbags or anything that is stretchy, or even like straps on blouses or dresses. I think it would be perfect so that it doesn't have too much stretch in the shoulder, so that it doesn't little by little start drooping down your chest. In a minute, I'm going to show you also if you want to use double crochet, because in double crochet, the project stays the same size as your regular double crochet. This is your regular double crochet up here. See how holy that is, how much space there is? This one, you still have some spaces showing, but not quite as many as these. And it's not as, see, it's not as stretchy. So this, I really love the double crochet. I think I'm going to use this regardless of what I am crocheting, any project, dresses, socks, whatever. I think I'm going to use this on double crochets from now on. Hats, anything, sweaters. So I'm going to teach you this later. So you'll have to let me know down in the bottom, the comments, and also like this video if you want me to teach you the double crochet stitch. I don't know, I don't think it's called thermal double crochet, but I guess we could call it that. Oh, another thing I wanted to show you is look at how thin the regular single crochet is versus the thermal. So I think this would even be good for hats, because this will let no air in right here. This will let a lot of air in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get my crochet hook and show you how to do it. Okay guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the thermal single crochet that I made down here. I'm going to just make it on top here so that I don't have to cut my yarn and stuff, so I can just keep working. So the way you would begin, the way I the way I started it down here was I made a chain of 26, and then you end up with 25 stitches, okay? We're going to pretend that this is our chain, and we've got 25 right now. You're going to chain 1 extra because that's your turning chain, and then you are going to just work it normally as you do all your single crochets into your chain, okay? Okay. All right. Just work your single crochet into your chain till you get all the way to the bottom as you normally would do a single crochet into your chains, okay? Okay, so we did the chain and then we did our first single crochet row, and now we're going to do our second row. We're going to chain one, turn our work around, and this is where it's going to be different, okay? We're only going to grab the back loops, okay? And we're going to work single crochets in the back loops only, all the way down to the end of your project or the end of your swatch or whatever it is that you are working on. Let me try to stay focused. I'm using my cell phone, so it's focusing mostly on my hands and not the project. So just work the back loops, trying to go slow so that it stays in focus. Okay, back loops only. And when you do that, of course, it's going to leave the front loops over here available. See? There's those bumps right there. All right, so continue doing this back loop only to the end, okay? And I'll be right back. So I am close to the end. I just have 2 stitches left. And that's it. All right, so now we're going to chain 1 for the height, but I want to show you that now we have these ridge, this whole ridge right here. Okay, that's the front loops that we didn't use, and so it's very important to see that, because we're going to now turn our work around like this, and we're going to work in the back loop, grabbing the back loop and this front loop from the row we just did. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. That's what it looks like from this side. We're going to grab that stitch and that stitch, that one and the second one, and we're just going to go that way all the way down, okay? Make sure not to grab that one and then go skip over. There's one right there, okay? That one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, so let's turn our work over and do that right now. Going to grab the back loop and the front loop from the previous row. And so there should be 3 loops, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, and then just go through those 2, and then go through that one. Okay, so back loop, front loop, see? Go through, and then go through. That's it. That's all we're going to do. That is the thermal single crochet. I usually crochet like this with my fabric like that, but for this particular stitch, I've been crocheting like this. You can grab the back loop and the front loop in one swoop and do it all at once. Save a little extra wrist action. So yeah, it does take a little bit extra time to make this stitch, but I think it is well worth it for a sturdier, less stretchy fabric, if that's what you're going for. See, so now that we're working in the back loops only of that, we're leaving the front loops available, and when we turn it around, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to work in the back loop and then the front loop, back loop, front loop, okay? Okay, so who of y'all has already learned this stitch? Who already knew about it? Let me know down in the comments. Probably all of y'all. I'm probably the only one that's just now learning it. I wish I had learned it 9-10 years ago, because all the projects that I put on YouTube that were single crochet, like hats and those bags, those messenger bags, and I would have definitely used this thermal stitch, because with this thermal stitch, if you're making a bag, you don't really need to sew a lining in it. And that's actually how I learned about this. Is I was reading an old 2014 Crochet Today magazine, and it was questions from the readers, and the question was, what can I do if I don't want to put a lining in my crochet bag? And this is what the person answered her. She said to do this thermal stitch. So just continue this way back loop, front loop, back loop, front loop, okay, until you get to the end. And yeah, so like I said, let me know down in the comments if you already knew about this. But I sure didn't. I wish I did. But you see how much shorter this thermal is compared to the regular? But look how stretchy, and look at how, I said holy earlier, which sounds funny, but look at how much space there is, and look at how much shorter the thermal stitch is. Okay, go ahead and finish, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, I'm almost at the end of the row, and the reason I'm coming before I finish is because I want to show you that when you get to the very last one, the back loop over here is kind of hidden. So you got to make sure, see, here's the second to the last one. And as you work this stitch, the back loop of this one kind of gets hidden. So yesterday when I was making this swatch, I almost just grabbed this front loop from the previous row. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's got to be a back loop over here. So you see how it's hidden in there? So you got to kind of open this up a little bit and make sure you grab that back loop and the front loop from the previous row, okay? So don't skip that stitch. Okay, so now we're going to chain one, and we're going to turn our work. And now we're going to do the same thing, okay? We're going to grab the back loop now of this one and the front loop of the previous row that was left unworked, okay? Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. That's it, okay? So we're just going to work in all these ridges right here. See? I'm going to grab that and that, that and that, that and that, back and forth, and that is the thermal stitch. Okay, so I'm going to finish this row, maybe a few more rows, and I'll see you when I'm all done. So one thing that the magazine didn't tell me is how you would finish this off, because you see how, if let's say this was the last row of my project, if I didn't want it to look like that, what would I do? So I'm going to kind of try something here at the end to see what I would do. You could leave it like this, and then if you're going to sew two panels together, you could use this extra piece, and whatever extra piece of the other panel, you could sew those together, I guess. But you don't always want, there would be a little bit of a gap probably if you did that. So if we didn't want that and we wanted this to be our finishing edge, how could we finish it? So in a minute, I'm going to try to figure something out right on camera for the first time. Let's see what I would do. Okay, we're almost done. See how this one's hidden there? Be sure to grab it, okay? Grab that back loop and then the front loop from the previous row. Okay, so there's the end, and let's say that that is the last row. What would we do? I don't know. We're going to try to figure it out. But, okay, let me just show you what I have here. So you see, you can totally see the difference. Look at all those spaces, all those holes, no spaces down here, no spaces down here. And you know, this actually makes a nice little pattern, you know, thermal single crochet, regular single crochet, thermal. Very cool. This is what the front, actually this is the front of the project because this is where I started my chain. Okay, so you can definitely see a pattern here. So that would be kind of cute. You know what I was thinking also, guys, is that this right here would be good like at the bottom of a dress or the bottom of a sweater so that it doesn't stretch as much, you know, possibly. And then finish the rest of the sweater with regular crochet, maybe up by the chest area for us women if we didn't want to possibly wear a bra, or if we didn't want our bra to show, you could do the thermal stitch around the front part where our chest is. But okay, let me see, what would I do if I wanted this to be my last row? Chain one, and then maybe I would grab both sides of the V and the front loop from the previous row. I'm going to do that for a few stitches just to see what happens. See how that would look. So both sides of the V, here, and the back, and the front loop from the previous row. Man, it's hard to see through the camera. Yeah, that's nice. I like that actually. It kind of reinforces the edge too. You might think, oh, well then that kind of eliminates that previous row we just did because we're closing it up. But actually it would reinforce your edges and make them sturdier, and your project wouldn't, whoops, I forgot to grab the front loop on this V because I'm talking too much. Okay, so let me do that, and look at what it's looking like. It's looking nice. I love that. Yeah, so let me finish this and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. So I came back a little early. I thought, you know what, let me show them right now that it's halfway. I've done half and I've got the other half to do, but here is the difference. If you wanted to just not bother doing that, then this is what your finished project would look like. Okay, so if you like that, fine, you could leave it, or you could finish it off like that. So I just wanted to come back and show you halfway through. If you did want to just leave it like that, that's what it would look like. All right, I'll be back. I'm going to finish it. Oh my goodness, I barely had enough. That's crazy. Ran out. Okay, perfect. Perfect little swatch. So yeah, here's the beginning with the thermal, with the regular, and with the thermal again. So cool. All right. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you think of this, and if you already knew about it, and if not, let me know what your thoughts are on it. And then also let me know if you would like me to teach you the double crochet version of that. I love the pattern that it kind of gives with this double crochet versus the regular double crochet. See how it gives you a nice little pattern? That would make a nice sweater right there. So yeah, you can still see some spaces through it, but not quite as many as that. So if you were making a sweater out of double crochet, look at all the spaces you would have versus here. Here you wouldn't really see your bra if you made a sweater out of that for us women. And you probably wouldn't even have to wear one if you didn't want to. Here you would definitely need to wear a bra and it would show your bra too. So yeah, let me know if you would like to learn this stitch, and if so, just leave it down in the comments and give this video a thumbs up, and if I get enough thumbs up, then I will go ahead and show you this stitch as well. So like I said, I wish I would have known about this so that I could have made my messenger bag 9 years ago out of this. Right here, I would have loved to have made the straps out of this for sure. If I was only going to do just one part of the bag, I would have done the straps because the straps are very stretchy. The only other thing that I could think of that I was going to do was I was just going to get some yarn and I was going to stitch in and out, in and out, in and out, just kind of weave through it. Maybe one row here, one in the middle, one in the end, and I was going to do that to kind of make it sturdy, but now I don't need to do that. Now I can just use the thermal single crochet for the strap. So when you do, if you want to do this for a strap, then you don't want to make this the strap going this way. You want to just make as many chains as you want your strap to be. If you only want it this wide, then you would do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 chains, and you would end up with 6 stitches, and you would go this way, this way, this way, back and forth until you had the size of strap that you want. Because look, there's hardly no give. Yay, I'm so glad I learned this. You guys have no idea how excited I am about learning that stitch. And yeah, I'm so glad to be back with y'all. And let me know what you think you might use the thermal single crochet for. I was thinking hats, straps on dresses, on blouses, on handbags. Before I go, I wanted to show you another project that I think would be really awesome with this thermal single crochet because it's sturdier and it would stand up better. This basket that I made, remember one of the last videos that I made? See how flimsy-ish it is? Projects like this would also be really cool to make with this thermal single crochet. That would be perfect. All right, guys, and once again, I want to thank you for watching the commercials at the beginning, middle, and end of these videos because it helps me a lot. It helps me to purchase yarn. It helps for the time that I spend on these videos and everything else. So thank you so much. If you don't like the commercials, when you see one starting, just go to the kitchen, grab yourself a drink or something, and by the time you come back, the commercial should be over. All right, guys, don't forget how much I love you. Don't forget to love yourselves and everyone you come in contact with. All right, bye.